Hey everyone, it is JP again. I've got my next tutorial for you. And this time I actually made a necklace, and I don't make these very often. I don't typically like to wear necklaces, so I generally don't bead necklaces, bracelets, rings, earrings, definitely, but not so many necklaces. But this was a lot of fun to make, and this is actually, it looks like it's a component piece, but it's not. It's actually continuous. And let me give you a closer look at these. I realized I forgot to grab my pearls. So here's the component, and what I've done is I've used superduos, 11/0 seed beads, 3x4 rondelles, and 6mm pearls. And so starting with the seed beads, 11/0s, I am using galvanized silver, miyuki 11/0s from Aura Crystals. My super duos are also from Aura Crystals, and they are jet black. My pearls are from Potomac Beads, the 6mm pearl, which is sitting here in the center. And this color is called Platinum. I know people always like the colors though. I'm showing you the original packaging and the colors. And this last one are the Rondelles. Now this one, I actually believe this is like a gunmetal. It's not a pure black, but it's a faceted gunmetal type color. And these were probably purchased from my local bead store. And the bead store is no longer here, but I've had these sitting around and I never knew what to do with them until I finally came up with this design. But you'll need a bunch of these in order to make the necklace. And basically this will depend on the length of the necklace you want to make. Each little component requires 6 of the rondelles, a single pearl, and 6 superduos. I've made 5 of those, so 30 of the rondelles, 30 of the superduos. But then I've also used rondelles as connectors. And so I have 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 40 plus another 20, and that makes it 60. And so at least 60 plus the other 30 that I didn't count as in the components, that makes it 90. 90 rondelles. There we go. I did the math. I should have done the math before I started recording, but a little, better late than never. And of course, you need 5 of the 6mm pearls. And if you end up doing more of the units, then you'll need more. But let's get started. To begin our necklace, you are going to pick up 6 11/0s and 6 superduos onto the thread, just like this. And so you should have a total of 12 beads. And then you're going to tie a square knot, bringing and turning the whole thing into a nice little ring. And this is what you should get. And now what you're going to do is go ahead and reinforce this ring. We need to go through all the beads a second time. So I'm just going to go through them about 2 or 3 beads at a time. And I want to make sure everything is secure. It'll feel a little loose, so if it does, just tug on the working thread and the tail end of the thread if your knot is not tight enough. But once you go through the beads a second time, that should help tighten things up. Okay, we're almost in position. So I'm back here where I started, and I actually want to go back through that superduo, but I'll do that after I go through this set of beads. And now go through the superduo and then switch into the second hole of that superduo. Just like so. I'm now in that second hole, and I'm just gonna move this out of the way. I will cut that, but I need that kind of to help me hold the piece right now, the tail thread, but I will cut it. Okay, I'm just gonna bring these down so you can see my little 11s, because the next step is you're gonna put 3 11s between each of these superduos. I've got 3, and I'm just gonna go into the next superduo. My thread is exiting this one, and I'm gonna go into this one. And this is something we're gonna do 6 times total, so I've gotta do it again 5 more times. Pick up 3 11s and into this next superduo. And try not to leave any slack in the thread. You wanna make sure that that's nice and secure. And once again, we are gonna pick up 3, go into this next superduo, like so. And of course, I'm gonna go ahead and do this really quickly for the next 3. I think you get the gist. 3 11s into the next superduo. 3 11s into the superduo, and 3 11s. So we've done it 6 times. Go ahead and reinforce all of these beads as well. Gonna go through all of them until we come back to the beginning. No slack in that thread. I am gonna go ahead and continue here. And it's okay if you're only able to get through a few beats at a time like I'm doing, totally fine. That is the way it works. Okay, should be just about at the beginning. I can tell because this is kind of right where my tail thread is. I'm gonna go through this next set of beads, and I want to come out of the middle 11. And this is what I have. And now for the next part, what you're gonna do is pick up 3 11s and just go through the middle 11 here. And let's move that out of the way. And you're gonna get a unit like that. So it looks like a little right angle weave unit, essentially, is what you're doing there. A single unit. And then continue until you get to the next seed bead that is in the middle in the next set of 3. And once again, we are going to go around just the central bead. And I'm tightening as I go because I don't want any slack again between the beads. And then continue through the 11, the superduo, and the next 2 11s. And you're coming out once again in the middle. One, 2, 3 11s, and just go through the central 11-0 there. Okay, I'm gonna finish up doing the next 3 off camera just to kind of speed things up. Otherwise, this is gonna be a very long video. There's lots of steps to this. But you get the gist. All you're doing is adding 3 11-0s to the middle seed bead there. Okay, so once you've added all of the seed beads, this is what you should look like, or your piece should look like. It should look like a little star or flower, and just like that. So my thread is still exiting out of that central 11-0 right there, and I am actually going to move up into this 11. And so just going to turn the work, and then I'm going to go through the 2 11s. So that puts me in position to add the next set of beads. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up some of these rondelles that I have over here. And so you're going to pick up a rondelle and you're just going to go into the next 11-0. So I just flip the work again just so I can work upwards. Makes it a little easier on my wrist. So, and you're going to do this all the way around. So like that, and then pick up another one. And go into this next one. So you're just going into this top seed bead here. And so the pieces should start to come up forward. Then that's what you want, is you want to have them kind of pull upward. And go into this next one. And continue. So it'll be a total of 6. Again, we're working in, since the unit is all set up in 6s, we're going to be doing these things 6 times. And again, picking up another one of the rondelles, and one last time. Go into the 11, and you can go into the next rondelle here. Okay, so my little basket is kind of loose, so what I'm going to do is grab my 6mm bead here and just drop it into the center and then tighten everything. So just like that, and there is our little unit. And the 6mm bead, whatever you're using, I'm using the pearl, is going to stay locked in. But of course we do have to go through all the beads again to make sure that that is tightened up. So I'm just going to continue through until I get through as many beads as I can. So I'm reinforcing the circle. And I'm going to tighten as I go. You can hold this down with your thumb. It will stay in place, and just go through them again. So I'm only going to go through it one more time, but if you feel it's loose even after going through it twice, you could do it one more time. I mean, if you're using a 6-pound fireline, it should still have plenty of space for you to go through the beads. Okay, 2. And probably a few more. And you'll notice that once you've gone through it, it's not gonna try to open back up. So the beads are gonna stay closed like it is now. And there's our cute little unit. I'm gonna go through a couple more here, and I wanna come out of an 11. So there you see, I'm coming out of that 11. Okay, so there's the thread, and I actually want to come down now here to this row of 3. So there's this is where the thread is exiting. I'm just going to follow the thread path, go through that bead, and then I am going to go and go through these 2 beads here. just like that. Okay, now I'm going to pick up a rondelle, 3 11s, and another rondelle. Yep, I am off camera there with the rondelles. Okay, so this is what I have, rondelle, 3 11s, rondelle, and I'm actually going to come around, so note where the thread is. I'm going to come all the way around like so. So I'm going through all 3 of the 11s there. And so this is what you should have. And now I'm going to reinforce this and go through it again. And through the 11s. So you may find yourself going through one set of beads at a time. So I'm going through the rondelle now, and then back through the 11s, all 3 of those 11s. I'm making sure I'm giving everything a good tug, and then through the rondelle, and I got an 11. I want to come out of the middle 11 there in that group of 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through it right there. Okay, now you got pick up 4 11s and go back through that central 11. And you should have that. Then go through the first 11. Now pick up another 11 and go into the next 11 there. And repeat, pick up an 11, go into this next 11, and once again, pick up an 11 and continue into the next 2 11s. If you can get your needle through, like so. And there you have it. So, and then you want to go ahead and reinforce this. So we're going to go through all the beads again. There's a lot of reinforcing happening in the making this. So go through 2 beads at a time. There's 2. And there's 2 again. And we're back. All right, so we've gone all the way around. I gotta get through these next 2 if I can. And yes, I can. Okay, so now I am gonna make this exact same unit over here on this side. So now I gotta first make my way down these beads and come out over here. So to do that, what you're gonna do is just follow the path. So we're coming out of this central bead, go through the 11 and the rondelle. Then up through these 11s again. Hopefully this isn't getting too tight. Still can get through it. And then it's super duo. And if I can get through that next 11, I'm going to try. If not, no big deal, but there we go. It can be a little bit tricky to get through them. You just kind of have to wiggle the needle a little bit. And so now I've got through 2 11s and the super duo. Get this little tailed thread. I should trim that. Okay, so I just gotta keep going until I get over there. So now it's I'm out of that super duo, so I'm going to go through the next set of 11s. And here I am. Now 2 more 11s and I'm in position. And once again, let me show you what we're going to make. So we're going to, like I said, we're repeating this little unit on this other side here, essentially. So I have flipped it to the back. So we are looking, this is the back view, which is also cute. So you might almost be able to reverse this and, you know, this side versus that side. Okay, so it is pick up a rondelle. I've got some here. Pick up 3 11s and of course another rondelle. And you're going to go back through these beads again. Just like so. And then I am going to reinforce through the rondelle. And then through my 3 11s. Through the rondelle again, this other on the other side, that is, it's not the same one. And then through the 11s. And tighten everything up, give that a good tug. Then up, back through the rondelle, and then the first 2 11s. So you want to come out of that middle 11. And I'm going to pick up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the 11s. Go back through. That 11. Go through the first 11. And then you're just going to grab a bunch of the 11s. I mixed up all the beads. Pick up an 11. Go into the next. Oops, there we go. 11. Pick up an 11. Go into the next one. And one more. Pick up an 11. Go into the next 2. Okay, there we have our first unit done, and this is what it should look like. And you can actually turn this into a couple different components. I think it'd be cute as a ring, so you can continue and make a ring band, like so. Makes a cute little ring. You can also just add some chains and turn it into a bracelet, so it pop. It would just be sitting here in the center and be like a single unit and makes a cute bracelet. So there's a few options. Now, I'm going to show you how to make the second unit. The second unit is made differently than the first unit, so I'm going to go ahead and reinforce my little diamond here off camera, and then I will show you how to start the second unit. Okay, so once you've reinforced, you want to make sure coming out of this top 11 there, and then you're going to pick up an 11, a rondelle, 3 11s, another rondelle, and then one more 11, just like that. And you're going to go back through this 11 here. So this is what you should get, just like that. And of course we got to reinforce this, so let's take care of that. And I'm going to try to do this really quickly. And up into the 11 and the rondelle there. And then it's going to be coming out of all those 3 11s. All right, now I gotta grab these super duos over here. Let's see, grab a bunch of those. And so go ahead and grab a super duo. Then again, 3 11s, super duo, and I'm just gonna bring those down. You want to grab 6 super duos. So, and I said so like 15 times. So I do apologize for that. Trying to break the habit. 3 11s, another super duo. 3 11s, super duo, 3 11s, super duo, and bring those down. Okay, last set, 3 11s, and my super duo. And go back through all 3 of the 11s, and you will have a circle like that. And yes, we do have to reinforce it. I am gonna go ahead and go through and do another reinforcement of the entire circle. And just take your time with this. This is pretty, I think this is a fairly complicated piece to make. There's not that many units you need to make, I think, but take your time. As you can see, I'm trying to reinforce and I've widened the gap. You don't want that, you want to tighten that up. But if that does happen, all you have to do is tug on the thread and it should tighten up. Okay, so I want to keep going until I get all the way back here. And I've gone through all of them. And actually what I'm going to do is just back up a little bit. I want to come out of all the set of 3 11s, I want to come out of the middle 11 there. So I am actually going to back up a couple of 11, go back through the super duo and then the 11s. And I said I want it to be through the middle. So I went out actually a little bit too far. Okay, come on, needle. There we go. So center 11 there. And pick up 3 11s and go back through that 11 and then continue forward through the other beads. So if you come out of the super duo, you'll be good. Now to continue, we are gonna go through the next 2 11s and then repeat what I just did and make these little units. 2 and 3, and then I'm going to go back around my 11 here and then just continue forward until I am in position for the next set, just like that. And we're going to do it again. So I'm going to go through and show you how to do that again. Pick up 3 11s go back through just that central bead, and then we can continue forward. And I need to come out of this central bead again. Okay, we got to make 3 more units of those. Three 11s again, and through that middle bead again, and then through the 11, super duo 11, I need to come out of that middle 11, and 1, 2, 3 11s, and time to make that last unit here. So I am coming out of the super duo, and I just want to come forward, come out of the middle 11. Okay, picking up 3 and going back through that middle 11. And this is what you should have. Okay, so now what we have to do is get all of these super duos into the center and connect them together with seed beads. And that is the next process. And I'm going to continue forward until I come out of that super duo here. So 11 and then the super duo. I'm going to switch into the other hole of that super duo, like so. There, I'm going into that second hole. And just want to make sure the thread doesn't get caught anywhere. And now I'm just going to connect the super duos. I'm going to pick up an 11 and go into the next super duo here. And I'm going to pull it towards the center. Just like that. And then you're just going to continue until you get all the super duos connected. So, and pick up an 11 again. And into the super duo. And don't worry if they're a little loose, that's okay. We'll get that fixed soon. And again, through the super duo, I'm putting an 11 between the super duos and making my way around, all the way around. Picked up another 11 and I'm gonna go into that super duo, and a little funky for my wrist here, but that's okay. I got it. And push them through. And again, pick up another 11. We have one more to connect and we'll be done there. And this is my last one. I'm connecting, I'm back around to the beginning. Okay, I will move my finger here in just a second. I'm just gonna tighten this up. And there you go. You wanna get those all nice and tight. And that is what your center should look like. And go ahead and reinforce all of that. coming out of the superduo there, so I'm just going to go through the 11, superduo 11, and we're almost there to the last set here. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue forward here. And I got one more superduo to get over into. Got the thread wrapped around my hand. And now I'm going to switch to the other hole of the superduo. And then I want to go into the next two 11s if I can get through them. If not, we'll do it next round. There we go. I did get through them. So switching into the second hole of the superduo here and then going into the two 11s. It is now time to come out of this 11 way over there. And so I'm going to go through. Following the thread path, I'm going to go into this next 11. So if you take a look, I'm coming out of this middle one and this one. We made this unit earlier, so these are all connected together, part of the same thread path. And then into this. Now, one thing to note, that this is actually the back of the bracelet, so just make sure all of these units are, so when you start to put them together, when we do this next step, you want to make sure that you're in the right position. So this is the position you want to be in. So just double check that before you go into the next part. And now I'm going to grab all my little rondelles and my 6mm bead. And I need one more rondelle. So let me grab that off the here's one, here's 6. Okay, so now we got to connect. We are going to connect all of these little seed bead units together with a rondelle, and then we're going to pop that into the center. But first, let's get the rondelles in place. Okay, I'm coming out of this 11. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a rondelle and go into the next 11 that is sticking up. And then repeat, pick up another one and go into the next one. And as you can see, you start tightening as you push them upward to create your little basket for the pearl or whatever 6mm that you're using. And I'm gonna, oh, it just fell off my needle there. Okay, another one and into this next one here. Okay, we've got to add the last 3. So this next one. And again. Okay, last one to add. Pop the pearl into the center, and then we're going to tighten, give everything a good tug, and then reinforce all of the beads again. So I'm coming out of that 11. I'm going to go into the rondelle, go into the 11, go into a rondelle. Sorry. Bumping the camera there. Sorry about that. And then continue just tightening this up so the pearl does not fall out. we are back, almost pretty much gone past the point, and I want to get us into position here. And this, if I turn it this way, the pearl is not going to pop out. It is in there securely. And these are 2 units that are ready and done. Now you got to make this connector set here is what you're going to do next. I'm coming out of this 11. I'm going to go down into this next 11 here. Then the middle and the third 11 there, or the second 11, I guess I should say, but you're going to be using these 3 11s for this next part right there. And so now you're in position to continue making these. So you'll pick up a rondelle, 3 11s, and another rondelle, and you'll go back around. You'll make the diamond, and once you make the diamond, you're going to pick up basically the mirror image of this over here to create that. So all the steps get repeated. Now go ahead and make 1 more unit, and then we're going to change positions to make a V of the necklace. Okay, so I have made that 3rd unit, and I am currently coming out of an 11-0 there. I just tightened up the rondelles and the 11-0s after putting in the pearl. So the next step is I want to make the V. So I'm not actually going to go ahead and continue building this way. I actually want to build upward this way. So in order to, so you don't want to be opposite of this like I am in these, where this is opposite of this and so forth. So I don't want to be there. I want to be up here. So here we are, and here's where I'm coming out of that 11. I'm going to make my way down to the next 11. And let's see if I can improve the focus there. Okay, now, then we're gonna go into the next middle, that middle 11 there. Yep, there's the 3, and I'm gonna go into the middle one because I'm here and I'm going into this next one. And the next 11 after that, so 2 11s. And now I have to go through this super duo. And this could be a little bit tricky because it's kind of at a strange little angle, so you may have to kind of just fiddle with your needle and kind of find the right angle. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of difficulty, and this is perfectly normal. It's okay. It happens. I'm having, let's see, okay, there we go. So it just takes a little bit of patience. And so I try to do this on camera just so you can see that sometimes these things happen, especially when you're working on something like this where the beading is pretty tight. Okay, now I just want to keep going through the next 2 11s. And now I'm in position. So you can see that this should help. I can form my V here and I can continue up. So there should be a set of 11s over here that are open, and then this next one. And so this will be sort of the pendant kind of part of it, and we'll build from there. And so for this next part, I would pick up a rondelle and then my 3 11s and another rondelle. And I am just going to go through all 3 of these beads. So, and again, let me go ahead and get those out of the way so I can grip this better, grip the needle a little bit better. And we are going through just those 3 11s. Okay, so just wanted to make sure, whoops, sorry. Wanted to make sure we were in the right position to continue building. So now you can see exactly what position you're gonna go into to continue building. Okay, so you wanna build 2 more of these units to complete the V, and then I will show you how to do the rest of the necklace. Okay, so here is the necklace so far. So, all right, so here was that piece, the last piece I made, and then I went ahead and added 2 more units. And then this is what the rest of the necklace is gonna look like. So basically this is identical to what we made here. And so the connectors. And so all I did was extend the necklace using these connectors. Now you can do this at whatever length that you'd like your necklace to be. So I added, and I'm counting the rondelles. So I added 10 additional sets of rondelles here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now I've got my thread. I added some new thread and I'm on the other side, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing on this side. So let me go ahead and show you what I do here. If you recall, but I can show you again. We're gonna pick up an 11, then the rondelle, then 3 11s. Another rondelle followed by 1 more 11. And I'm coming out of that top point there, so I am just gonna go back through just that 11. Oh, looks like somebody's car alarm is going off. Okay, and there it is. So that is the part with the rondelles, and then you make the diamond again after that. So first thing you're gonna do is reinforce this. Go through all the beads again. And so I just went through the 3 11s. Now go down the rondelle and through the 11s on this side, and I want to come out of the middle 11 there. And I'm tugging on the thread as I go because I don't want any slack in the thread. Nothing to be loose. Okay, so I've gone around and reinforced. Now I'm going to go through and come out of the 2 middle 11s there. And now it's time to make the diamond. And you know how to make the diamond. I think I've shown this a gazillion times in all of my tutorials. So here we go again. You're going to pick up 4 11s and to go through just the middle 11 there. Then you go ahead and you go through the first 11, and you're going to add 11s in between 3 times to make that diamond. Pick up an 11, go through the next 11, pick up another 11, go through the next 11 there in the group, and again you're going to pick up an 11 and go into the next 2 11s. Okay, and now let me just flip this in the right direction, make sure it's not twisted. Okay, so you will continue repeating those steps until you get to your desired length. You can make this shorter, longer, whatever you want to do is up to you. And we're just gonna match it up. So keep going, and then just the last part of this is to add jump rings here to this last little diamond and your clasp. All right, the necklace is done. So here's my 2 sides, and there's my clasp. I went ahead and added jump rings and the clasp, and it is complete. So this was a long tutorial. Hopefully, if you do end up making it, please please share pictures. I'd love to see what colors you choose. And I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.